right on the Zoom, you were asking about when we took the pieces apart, um, and then the actions. So the let me see if I could separate everything out one by one. That might be better to do it that way. I think, yeah, we'll just separate everything. And you're talking about where if you've already went to this part of the animation where um, you followed along with the other pieces, and if you did the exact same character and and I sent you everything exactly like mine looks, and you're not making up your own character and background and stuff, when you do the separation, like after the character gets struck by the weapon, when you're doing the break apart scene, everything's going to be isolated. So the parts that you want to evaporate, meaning that those are going to be the ones that are going to be the centerpiece here. Uh, the arm where you add your bone, it just depends on what angle you're shooting it at. So we already know this character is going to be disintegrated. When we're starting from that bottom part and you work your way up to figure out what angles that you want to use, because even though you have everything I sent you as far as following along on the Zoom, it's going to be a little bit different, right? So we've walked through everything as far as let me see if I can, you know what, I will separate everything out for you because it'll probably be easier for you to see it that way, and then we'll go back if we have to for the other part here. Let me get something straight here real quick. And whatever kind of light you want to use for the characters incineration doesn't matter. The one I chose was white and orange. So we're gonna go. Let me isolate the action first, so we can see here what parts are moving. All right. So the long shot character should be in front of the vehicle, right there. That's your starting point. And remember, this is a quick action part where there's speed to this, so it's only should be, and you don't have to follow this, it could be 5 to 6 frames that you're going to be using for it to get to the point where the character is right in line with should stop here before the cutscene goes, right? So we get from, I don't know, I would say use the 3 seconds to bring the character up. It's right here first to like the 3rd frame before you start breaking everything apart, right? So when he's incinerated, the things that are going to disappear are going to be, of course, the things that are not on here. It's just going to be these arms, right? That's going to be gone by the time we get to the 3rd frame. These should be gone. The light that you use for this to disappear, whatever you like, we're going to still have these come in because we want the character to kind of understand the seriousness of what just happened, where he's going to be looking at his the remaining pieces here with the arm. This one to the left, I did send, we're going to be doing a bone for this one. On this one, we're just going to use the blood to kind of gush out that way. And then the framing of the actions when you're combining them. And the only reason you're doing this is because we need to have some kind of exaggeration as far as wind on the character's clothing. Even though we have all these other actions that are going on, you want to try to combine as many as you can, right? So someone was confused about this part. So let me bring back the body here for a second. And I'm going to show you what that is. It's going to be the action, right? So this is our action here. And now there's two things going on in this one action. Isolated for where the eyes are going to be closing, right? There you go. Now when I take this and I'm spinning it around like this, I can do this as many times as you like, because the eyes and the basically the shirt blowing in the wind rapidly, right? So you have that little like movement like this where the wind is blowing it and it does that little like shake really quick, right? As you see me wind this back, you're going to see the eyes pop back into the same action. So winding, there you go, eyes are open. But since there's more than one action that we're adding to this particular scene, the action setup where we did do the eyes closed, which is here, this action is controlling the wind that we want to add for the clothing. And that's basically it. That means that I know how many spins it should take to bring back the eyes to come open, right? So if I know I'm here, this is where the eyes are going to be open. And don't pay attention to the other extra body part, because that's us changing the frame. Just going on the action, right? This action bone controls the eyes closing, and it controls the wind that's going to be happening, because the eyes will close and they won't open again. I hope that makes sense. So we don't need to worry about the eyes coming back, or his lids coming back up. We just want it to close, but we still want to be able to limit the actions to the one bone. All right. So if I have this action here, and I say, oh, it's going to be controlling not just the eyes closing, but it's going to be controlling the wind action for the character. So when I spin this really rapidly, right, it's going to so how many spins? So just from here to there, right? How many? There's a it should be frame here. So if you notice, the thing that's going to be happening is the wind is going to be like blowing the clothing, like the side elements, and it's warped because we haven't fixed that part, but we already have the action that's added with the eyes being closed, and we only need to use that once, right? So if the wind is blowing crazy, or the shirt is blowing, it's going to be the eyes remain closed, because this character is going to be gone essentially, right? So as many actions as you can do at once, it's going to help you just have like a couple of action bones where you don't have a separate action bone for the eyes, a separated action bone for the wind, right? What I kind of do is I combined 4 actions in one movement, and then I'm not animating it, right? So if I know how many spins it takes me to get back to the eyes to be open, so if I go back this way, right, so we get to the point eyes are closed, but the other action is still moving for the scene. And then to get back to the action where the eyes open, I know how many times it's going to take, right? But when we spin this, we know what we're doing when we're spinning this. We're giving the effect of the wind blowing while he's on his scooter here, right? So so pretend that's just blowing in the wind there for just that split second, because it's going to happen rapidly, right? The scene is only 5 frames, right? So wind blowing, wind blowing, wind blowing, eyes closed, then gets to this point where like he's starting to lose limbs and stuff that we're going to make incinerate is happening in that frame as well. And then by this point, right, we get to 5, we want him gone, or kind of like 5, right? Get here, he's hit once. I would say I probably, when we do the zoom, we can do it from here, and you can just copy my actions. But yeah, that's it. Try to use as many of them as possible as far as adding the extras. So I hope that helped with that answer. If not, I'll go over it again on the Zoom the class. Thank you very much. Everyone that subscribed on YouTube, appreciate it. I appreciate your patience. There's certain things that I can put on the YouTube after the classes and everything like that. So you'll start to see clips of everything that we've already accomplished. We still have to add the music. We still have to add a lot of other stuff. So on YouTube, I appreciate your patience with that. The thing with the YouTube is I didn't start doing YouTube. Well, I did start the channel, I don't know, 7 years ago, but I never started putting things up there. So I'm trying to formulate a way to do that where it'll be helpful to where I start to break these things down a little bit simpler, because the class is a little bit more fast-paced. All right. Thank you again for your patience. Thank you for subscribing. You guys have a great rest of your weekend.